Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. There is something that nobody's actually talking about, which was a result of what happened last night in Parliament and the vote on the education bill. And that is to say that they had this vote that was the wrecking amendment, effectively, about having an inquiry. Now, with all those Labour voting and others voting to not have an inquiry, people are righteously angry. However, what it does mean, and nobody seems to be talking about this, is that the education bill is still likely to go through. And this should be greatly worrying to everyone. One of the provisions in that bill is the effective banning of homeschooling. Now, they're saying it's not banned as such. What they're saying is if you want to homeschool your child, which at the moment, here's how you homeschool your child. You homeschool your child. And as long as you are giving that child a rounded education, that's fine. And there is nothing anyone can do. The provision within this bill means now, if you want to homeschool your child, you have to get relevant permission from your local authority. Why should you need to seek permission from others to educate your child in the way you see fit, firstly? And secondly, there's no guarantee that the local authority will allow you to homeschool your child. Especially, exclusively, I'd imagine, if it was a Labour authority. And why is this? Because if you're homeschooling your child, you're educating your child. You're giving your child an education. What you're not doing is giving them propaganda. You're not gaslighting your child. You're not forcing socialist ideals into your child. That's exactly what's happening within schools. You are merely educating and not harming your child by giving them this information. They cannot access your child. They cannot turn the way your child sees the world. My God, the child will grow up seeing the world as it is, not as the socialists want it to see. It will learn concepts like openness, freedom, contextual thought, not simple obedience to the state. Weird, isn't it? No brainwashing at home. And that, of course, is why the Labour government don't like it, which is why they've put this amendment in, so that they can limit homeschooling, basically stop people educating their children as they see fit. Your child must only be educated in a socialist ideal. This is, of course, why they're trying to get rid of public schools as well. Public schools, where people pay to have their child educated, well away from the state system. Whatever next? They might have individual thoughts. How dare they? How can we force our thoughts into children? Well, of course, this is like religion, isn't it? You get them young and you keep them because you're abusing them. You know, you're grooming children. This time you're grooming them into socialism. This is why so many young people think socialism is cool. Then they grow up, start paying tax, start earning, start getting and owning stuff and realise socialism is for losers. And of course, anyone over the age of 30 who's still a socialist is still a child. They've never really grown up and they are losers. But that's for a different video. What we've got here, though, is state-sponsored child abuse, and nobody wants to admit it. Why is the state so scared? Why can't you just educate your child as you see fit? There is no obligation in law to send your child to a school. People don't realise this. They think it's a law that you must send your child to school. No, the law is you must educate your child. Your child must receive an education. There is no law on where that education comes from, nor is there any preference on the curriculum, for example. That is why if you go to London, again, you can do this, you can see it, and you have the American school. And what do they teach in the American school in London? They teach an American curriculum. It's often used by the children of diplomats and military things like that. My cousin Mandy, she teaches in Berlin for a long time. She taught the British school in Berlin and the American school in Berlin. She now teaches a private school. She's just there. She's an educator, and she does this and travels all over the world. She's travelled all over the world dealing with foreign schools, but teaching different curriculums in different countries, dependent on what the requirements are. Because that's how you educate a child. There is no reason for this child to go to school if you don't want one. And as long as you are providing a fully rounded, multiple education, English, maths, some humanities, some science, absolutely, bit of home ec, bit of history, take them on field trips. Why not? If you can afford it, if you have the patience to do it, if you have the ability to do it, then do it. And you shouldn't need the permission of some faceless bureaucrat in a little town hall office going, well, I'm a socialist. I don't like the idea of a child growing up, being educated outside of the state school system. So no, I'm not giving permission. Take them to court. There's nothing they can do. You can't force. Nobody can force you to put the child into a school if you do not approve of the school. It's as simple as that. Or create a new religion and say, I'd like him taught. My child is an atheist. I must go into an atheist school. There can be no religion in that school. And then see their faces crumble. There aren't any atheist schools in Britain. Which seems odd. There should be. There should be secular schools, shouldn't there? But there we go. That's the reason that this education bill must fail. And that is why so many Labour MPs last night voted against that amendment, because it would help slow down the passage of the bill. So to be fair, no, not screw fair. They should still have voted for it. They could have just put the amendment in anyway, but they didn't. But they don't want this bill to fail. This is the problem. They want to control your children. They don't want you to be able to educate them at home. How dare you? How dare you give your child an education that they can't control? Control is all important, isn't it, to this lot? Marxists. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. We are getting so close now. I can almost taste 50,000. So if you're a regular viewer and you haven't yet done it, hit that button. So the rest of you, thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.